Hey everyone, it's the Miserable Movie Man back once again with another video. So I know I'm a little bit late to the party. I just finished seeing Joker 2, Folie, Deux, and I know it's been absolutely creamed on the internet and online. People are really tearing this film to shreds, pretty low ratings as well, and I thought I'd let you know what I thought of it. Now, before I begin, for fans of this channel, you'll know that I wasn't a big fan of the first Joker film. I did two videos on it, one sort of short form, one long form. I've got links to them in the description, and I'll put a link up here. So, right off the bat, I mean, that real world take on the Joker, the forced laugh being a medical condition, having no physical ability whatsoever, or even wits to outsmart Batman, were things that I didn't like about this iteration of the Joker character. And it really, in my opinion, gets even worse in Joker 2 with Arthur Fleck. I do think, before I get into the negatives, it was incredibly well acted. I thought all of the folks in the movie gave brilliant performances. I thought it was well directed too. Very good cinematography, some good set pieces. And of course, it was a little bit out there. Now, I will say that my wife quite liked it. I mean, not the ending so much. And I must warn you, I will be giving spoilers away in this video. But she really liked the musical nature of the film. And we'll get to the ending in a minute. And in some ways, I thought it was a bold choice. I do think that in the comics, you often find that Joker is singing a song, or perhaps his mind works in song. And he even says it in the film that, sometimes the singing is what really makes us feel the most or connects us the most to others. And even my wife was saying that perhaps there are times where it's hard to put how you feel into words. So, I mean, her view was she didn't really care so much for the large monologues that some films have. And the expression of thoughts through song was, I guess, more entertaining for her. Now, for me, by the time we got to song number 107 or whatever it was, I was just getting tired of it. I thought this would have worked in maybe some key scenes throughout the movie, especially when we want to kind of see how Arthur is feeling. But having it throughout the entire movie, almost every scene, some form of a song, was just getting too much for me, too repetitive. And I know you have Lady Gaga in there, so you have to utilize her voice, even though her acting was really good too. But it almost seems like they hired her just so that she could sing throughout the whole song. And Joaquin Phoenix is okay. I was quite impressed by the way he sang in Arthur Fleck's voice, which is not his real voice. I haven't heard him sing in real life. I'm probably sure he's got a band of some kind, but he sang pretty well as well. But again, it just kept distracting from things. And the Joker is supposed to be a terrorizing figure, someone that inflicts harm and pain on everyone else. And he did some of that in the first film, but in this film we really didn't get to see it other than in his mind. That was quite a shame, to have him be, so put upon and abused. And in his head you see how he exacts his revenge, but you don't really see him do it in real life. And I'll get onto that in a little bit about why I think that makes an impact in this universe that Todd Phillips has created and then, I guess, destroyed, right? This is really a real-world portrayal of the Joker. There's no way that Arthur Fleck can really do anything surrounded by armed guards. He can't escape out of jail. He can't, beat up the guards. He can't escape the courtroom by himself. He can't really do anything. He is extremely impotent in this film. And it takes the prodding of others to get him to sort of revert back to his safe persona or his new persona of the Joker. But even then, throughout the film, he's being manipulated by others. Harley Quinn is pushing him a lot. And of course, you have the sad ending where he admits on the stand it all becomes too real for him. And he says, it was him. He did everything. He killed those people. There is no Joker. Now, maybe in his head, perhaps buried deep somewhere, he thinks otherwise, but at that moment in time, he hits reality like a brick wall. And you really, you don't want to see that from a comic book character, even if it's a real-world portrayal as such. So that was disappointing. I think also Harley Quinn was disappointing. the build up to her, and yeah, they said she had a degree in psychiatry, so it wasn't quite the same character we're used to. But, she seemed more crazy than him. She seemed more invested in him, and just to reject him so openly at the end, where he refuses to be the Joker character, was I'm not going to say heartbreaking, but it was definitely a bold choice, and I'm not sure I agreed with it. I really wanted to see Harley Quinn being Harley Quinn. We see glimpses of her anarchy. We see glimpses of just smashes a shop window, walks away with the TV. I mean, no one seems to be concerned or chasing her. Seems to get away with a lot of things. She seems to be able to walk in and out of courtrooms and prison cells at ease. Again, not really explain how she has so much influence, but as the character of Harley Quinn that we're used to seeing, this was not her. Now, I know Todd Phillips has come out and said that, look, this is an origin story, not the origin story. I never said it was the Joker. And the shocking end scene where Arthur gets stabbed by someone who perhaps could go on to become the Joker. That inmate is never mentioned, but he does carve himself a smile at the end. Perhaps, that's the hint that Todd Phillips is saying, that Arthur was the prototype. But that calls into question all kinds of silly continuity errors and alternate universe errors where, there was an inspiration for the Joker before there was ever a Batman. And I'm not really a fan of things being done in that order. Maybe Harley Quinn was pregnant, and well, actually her name is Lee Quinzel in this movie, and maybe she was pregnant and gives birth to somebody that she names Harley, who can grow up to be Joker's love interest, although from the looks of the guy that stabbed Fleck, maybe there's a good 20 years in between them. But again, this film is just dark and depressing, and really all of the supposed lighthearted moments, the things to break the tension, the things to showcase Fleck as the Joker who he is, are all dream sequences, so they don't really have that kind of impact. It almost feels like a version of Shawshank, where at the end Andy Dufresne doesn't go anywhere, gets continuously beaten up and raped by guards, and gets stabbed and dies at the end. So, it's hard hitting in that way. It's, you really want to see the Joker be the Joker, and even in his, at least in the comics and previous incarnations in the films, even in his most chilling and gruesome times, he will crack bad jokes, and he will see the funny side of the macabre and the terrible. That's really why he's unhinged, and that's what makes him the Joker. And we didn't see much of that in this film. So overall, it was kind of a strange take, in my opinion. I think they set out to do a musical, which was fine. Musicals can work. We've seen that before. But at this level, with this amount of music and that level of depression going throughout the film, yeah, it was hard-hitting, heavy-going, and not really something I thoroughly enjoyed, or even, I would say, enjoyed to a degree. I would probably give this a 5 out of 10, or maybe even a 4.5, pushing a 5. Again, good performances, well made, well lit, well shot, but the plot, the characterizations, the sequence of events, and the incessant music really didn't do it for me. And it seems that's the way for most people, although, as I said, my wife did enjoy it apart from the ending. So, she came out of the theatre quite pleased. She likes hearing these musical numbers. So there is perhaps an audience out there, but I don't think we'll get a sequel, especially with the box office numbers this is making. So there you have it. That's my review. Let me know what you thought of my review. Did you agree, disagree? Do you think I missed anything? And as usual, please hit that like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And share and subscribe to the channel. And as always, catch you next time.